Welcome to our channel. Before we dive into yet another fascinating mythy, would like to invite you to watch, to like, and subscribe to the channel. Also, activate the notifications sound. What if I told you someone in your life is lying to you, right? Now, not a stranger, not some distant acquaintance, but someone closier, friender, partner, maybe even familiar. And the worst part, you've already seen the signicio, just didn't want to believe them, but after this you'll never ignore them again. People lie more than you think, not just stranger, sire, friend, your partner, maybe even family like to believe we can spot a liar, bet most of the time miss the signs net, because we don't see them, but because we choose not to trust the people close to us. So we overlook the red flags, because I've been there. Thought I was a great judge of character, thon I found out someone I trusted had been lying to my face for months. Problem: the truth was right in front of me, just didn't want to accept it. Bet when you finally do, everything changes. So if you're ready to stop living in a shanto, see through the licia are the undeniable signs you're being lied to. Brace yourself. It might hit closer to home than you think. Either ask someone a simple question and they dodge it like their life depends on it. You bring up something important and boom, they switch topics. It happens so fast, it's like playing verbal dodge balloon. Second, you're talking about something serious. Next, they're rambling about a funny meme they saw. It's not forgetful, not distraction. It's further, don't want to face the truth, so they run from it. Was in a relationship where this happened constantly. When I asked about the future, where we were headed, what we wanted from thisted steer the conversation elsewhere. Suddenly, we were talking about dinner, some random YouTube video at first. I brushed it off, maybe they just weren't ready for the conversation, but then I realized that were never ready, because the truth was uncomfortable. Avoiding the truth was easier than dealing with it. People do this all the time and we let them, because we don't want to push too hard, don't want to be that person. We'd rather keep the peace than demand honesty. But dodging the truth isn't just avoidance, it's deception. A lie isn't always spoken, it's just the truth left unsaid, and every time we let it slide, we give them permission to keep Leon. So next time someone changes the subject, let them off the hook, not because you want to start a fight, but because you deserve honesty. If someone truly values you, they'll face the hard conversations. Send. If they don't, then you need to ask yourself, what kind of relationship are you really building? Truth builds stronger bonds than any well-crafted Leno. Here's something even more important. People don't just lie with their words, they lie with their reactions. Sever. Ask someone a harmless question and suddenly, they're acting like you accused them of a crime. You ask something small and they blow up because they're hiding something. Guilty personas, always on high alert, always ready to defend themselves even when no one's attacking them. Saw this firsthand. A group project of my teammates wasn't pulling their weight. He asked, "Hey, how's your part coming along?" Instead of a normal answer, they snapped, "Why do you always think I'm slacking? I've been working hardy, don't need to be micromanaged." The reaction was too much, way too much, and sure, they'd barely done anything. Guilt makes people defensive. They feel exposed, so they try to flip the script, turn the focus back on you, make you feel like the bad guy, and if you're not paying attention you'll start doubting yourself. Maybe I was being too harsh, maybe I shouldn't have a schedron. Thia defensiveness system about your question, it's about their guilt. And honest person gives you a straight answer. A liar, they panic. The truth makes them uncomfortable. They'll do anything to keep you from uncovering it. So the next time someone overreacts to a simple question, pay attention, bez they're not just defending themselves, they re-protecting a lepi. Don't just lie with their words, their reaction. Lie with silence. Either get a feeling that something's off, but you can't quite put your finger on it, like someone is holding back, not saying what needs to be said. Dodging the truth by saying nothing at elf toad s. A lie tube costs the most dangerous lesson, the ones people tell you, theory, the ones they refuse to tell you. Learned this the hard way. A friend of mine, someone I trusted, started acting differentless, talkativeless. Open conversations felt forced. Something was missing, but every time I asked if something was wrong, Thea smiled and said, "No, everything's fine." Everything wasn't fine. Month later, I found out they had been hiding something from mesomething that could have changed everything off. I had known soon truth was there, lurking beneath the surface, but they kept it buried, and I let them because I wanted to believe their sadness was just them needing space. It wasn't that, was deception here. What you need to know. Silence is a weapon. It keeps you in the dark. It makes you question yourself instead of questioning them. So if someone close to you starts holding back, take it as a warning. Becca's the truth. They're not telling you, usually the one you need the most, another sign. They tell you to muck. Sounds backward, doesn't it? But here's the thing. When someone is lying, they tend to over-explain, pile on unnecessary details to sound convincing, but end up doing the opposite. Once worked with someone like this. Every time I asked a simple question, they'd give me an entire monologue. I was going to send that email, but then my Wi-Fi cut out, so I had to restart my router, and then my cousin called. And you know how she talks forever, and by the time I got back, I completely forgot, but I was totally about to do it. I never asked for all that simple. I forgot. Would have been a nubbit. That's the thing. Liars don't do simple, do elaborate, because the truth doesn't need a performance. Lies do. So when someone gives you too many details, shouldn't they talk too much, but say nothing real? Suspicious based. The more words they use, the less truth there actually is. One of the biggest red flags of all. You make you feel guilty for asking for the truth. Think about that. You ask a simple question and suddenly you're the bad githyact, hurt-act, offended. How could you even ask me that? They flip it on you, turn it into an attack. Make you feel like the violence is manipulation. It's designed to shut you down, make you afraid to question them. Agenbeck, cause if they can make you feel guilty, they never have to give you the truth. Eve seen it happen over and over. A friend who suspected their partner was cheating, asked a simple question. Have you been talking to someone else? Instead of answering, the partner got angry. I can't believe you don't trust me. After everything I've done for you, you're being paranoid. Notice what's missing. An actual answer. Instead of denying it, they attack your trust. Your feelings make you feel like the bad guy. Classic guilt trip, and most people fall for it. Back off, apologize, and never bring it up again. Exactly what the liar wanted. So remember this. People don't need to guilt trip you, just tell you the truth. Liars, they make you feel bad for even asking. That's how you know final sign. Their story keeps changing. Gorny day. It's one thing, next it's something else's. Mill details. Shift dates don't line up. Story Bensto fit the situation. It happens so smoothly. You might not notice at first until you look back and realize nothing adds up. This is how liars operate. Can't keep the story straight, because it was never true to begin with, and the more they lie, the harder it gets to keep track. Want to expose them? Ask them to repeat what they told you before. Watch how they hesitate, how they fumble. Best when you tell the truth. You don't have to remember the details, but when you live, every word is a risk, and eventually the cracks start to show. So now, you nollies aren't always loud. They're whispersillenstifled lie. The people telling them aren't always strangers. They're the ones closest to you. Friend Parton Furley like to believe we can spot a liar, but most of the time we don't want to. Rather believe that Lethan faced the truth, but here's the reality. Truth might hurt, but lies, they destroy, and the longer you ignore them, the deeper the damage. So pay attention, Bez. Once you see through the Lisa, you can never unsee them, and that's when everything changes forever. So here you, Arioff, seen the signs of Elve, felt the weight of deception, and now you have a choice. CO can ignore it, keep pretending, keep giving people the benefit of the doubt. You can wake up, open your eyes, and finally see people for who they really are. Because here's the truth, lies don't just hurt in the moment. They leave scars. They make you doubt your Zilphi, make you question your own reality, and the worst part, the longer you tolerate them, the harder it becomes to escape. But you are not powerless. Don't have to live in the shadows of deception. You don't have to be a prisoner to someone else's Lisa. You can demand honesty. You can set boundaries. You can choose truth even when it's painful. Bess, the truth will set you free, but lies will keep you trapped. So listen to your gut. Trust what you see. Believe what people show you, not just what they say. And If someone in your life is lying to ya, you're selfish, this a relationship worth keeping. Because a life built on lease will always come crashing down, and when it does, make sure you're not the one buried under the ruble juice. Truth juice, clarity. Who's your cell phone? Now you know. Signs, patterns, ways people twist reality to protect themselves, but knowing the truth is only the beginning. BCO's the hardest part is what you do next. You can pretend you didn't see it, convince yourself it doesn't matter, hold on to the comfort of ignorancia. You can choose the harder path, one that demands clarity, one that requires you to face what you don't want to face. Because here's the thing about truth, it doesn't just set you free, changes everything you see through the lie. You can never unsee it. You recognize deception. You can never unknow it. That means you have a responsibility. Your futurado, the life you are building, Bex. When you let lies remain, you become part of them. When you ignore deception, you give it power, but you don't have to. You can walk away, you can demand honesty, can choose to stop carrying the weight of someone else's dishonest base. Real connections, ones worth keeping, are built on truth, not manipulation. Silengesso, take a deep breath, look around and ask yourself one final question. Who in your life is telling you the truth, and who is just telling you what you want to hear? Because once you answer that, for everything